International Conference Center in Lilongwe. In a statement, the Office of the President and Cabinet says the event will start at 9 o'clock in the morning. The World Health Organization, WHO, designated 2020 the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife to urge governments to put nursing and midwifery on the spotlight as they seek to achieve universal health coverage. The year was also chosen to encourage world leaders to invest massively in nursing and midwifery to increase public understanding of the critical role nurses and midwives play in health promotion, disease prevention, and healthcare delivery. WHO estimates there will be a worldwide shortfall of 9 million nurses and midwives by 2030 unless radical action is taken now. Now, a report by the Office of the Ombudsman has revealed gross mismanagement of COVID-19 resources. This was disclosed on Friday when the Ombudsman presented findings of a report on an investigation into allegations concerning lack of transparency and accountability in the implementation of Malawi's national COVID-19 preparedness and response plan in the months of March and June 2020. Owen Mavula has this report.
The Office of the Ombudsman has been conducting a series of investigations into allegations concerning lack of transparency and accountability in the implementation of the Malawi's national COVID-19 preparedness and response plan. The first report, presented on Friday, focuses on activities implemented by the coordination cluster involving the Department of Disaster and Management Affairs, DODMA, as a coordinating body, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, Reserve Bank of Malawi, as well as the Office of the President and Cabinet. According to Ombudsman Martha Chizuma, 79.8% of the total funding for the cluster was spent on allowances between the months of March and June 2020.
It's a question of misplaced priorities for the country, that the large chunk of the money should be used for the allowances. And you find that within that, you find some abuse of the allowances, you find some unjustified allowances, you find some incidents of laxity on the part of some public officers in as far as issue of following up on these allowances is concerned. So all that when you put together at the end of the day is what is making us conclude that the manner in which the coordination cluster conducted its work, especially between March and June 2020, in implementing the national COVID response plan, left a lot to be desired.
Meanwhile, the Department of Disaster and Management Affairs says it will comment after going through the report, but was quick to commit to recommendations by the Office of the Ombudsman. Dice Ngoma is Deputy Director of Disaster Response and Recovery.
Since we have just received this report, and the presentation was just a summary, they did not go into the nitty-gritties that are in the report. We will, as a coordinating body, DODMA, we will sit down and then look at the report in detail and then get what is in the report. Then we will be able to give a little bit more detail from the department.
The report recommends that the Office of the President and Cabinet should comprehensively review the government allowances policies by making them more realistic, considerate to country's economy, to avoid abuses. Owen Mavula, MBC, Lilongwe.
Government is set to revamp railway transport system as it is cost-effective. Minister of Transport Zodiak disclosed this when he engaged authorities from Central East Africa Railways and its stakeholders in Balaka and Machinga recently. Charles Chindongo reports.
Mia says government is saving a lot of money in importing essential goods, including cheap fertilizers through railways. On this, the Minister of Transport disclosed that government is saving at least $30 United States per ton of fertilizer that is importing through the Nakala corridor. Mia added that railways can also help to reduce pressure on the country's roads.
We would want to see Liwonde sooner come up a good dry port, whereby a lot of goods will come there customs can establish their dry port there, and many other aspects. So I see Liwonde growing in the next 1-2 years. There's already some change. There's quite a number of factories coming in, fertilizers coming in abundance. Companies are building up a lot of warehouses, inclusive rail sites in their warehousing, which is a good development for us. We want to see much usage of the rail so that everybody should gain in the country.
Among others, SIA and its stakeholders are upgrading railway lines to accommodate more cargo. Gustavo Stein is country director for Central East Africa Railways, SIA.
It will improve our capacity more than 1,000 tons per day. And here today, as you can see, we have the shear bridge. This is the state of the art of a bridge in the railway sector, even the world. This bridge will bring us the capacity to bring more heavy trains. It means that we can bring more new locomotives and also to improve the weight of each train, each wagon that we bring. So everything that you can imagine that's good in the world, we have implemented here as technology, materials, and so on. Before, we have the capacity to bring trains with 15 tons per axle of load, and now with this bridge, it will increase to 21.
In 1999, Central East Africa Railways, SIA, took over the 20-year concession on the Malawi Railways. For MBC in Blantyre, I am Charles Chindongo.
Now, the Ministry of Labour says it will soon come up with a workers' compensation fund to help employees who get hurt in the line of duty. The minister responsible, Ken Kandodo, disclosed this in Lilongwe after paying a surprise visit to some foreign-owned companies in Njewa industrial area. He was following up on allegations that some companies were abusing local employees by denying them lunch breaks and paying them wages that are below government's minimum wage. Charles Wahara reports.
According to the reports, some of the companies do not allow their employees to have a lunch break, while others claim that employees are not compensated when they get injured while on duty. To establish the truth, the Minister of Labour, Ken Kandodo, went to Njewa on a fact-finding mission. The minister visited a company owned by Lebanese brothers Haida and Hashim Diab, which produces juice under Hayat brand, and Diaplus Limited, owned by Hashim. After meeting the management team, Kandodo addressed the workers in the absence of the management team, where workers shared their grievances on labor-related issues. The minister also took time to go through the company's salary records to check if claims that employees were being paid below the government's minimum wage were true. No such records were found.
The government would like to set up a workers' compensation fund, and this will be doing within this financial year, ending June 2021. The main reason for this is that many companies, they do struggle. Whenever an employee gets injured at the workplace, some companies, they struggle to pay compensation to that employee who has been injured. And so government now believes that it would be better if a dedicated compensation fund was set up by government, where employers will be making contributions to that fund, so that whenever an employee has been injured in the workplace, it should not be the responsibility of the employer to pay the compensation fund. Instead, to be the fund now paying the needed compensation.
The minister later visited premises for Purity Company Limited, where he was taken through a process on how various purity products are made. Charles Wahara, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Minister of Agriculture, Robin Lowe, has called on Malawians not to panic as the country has enough supplies under the Affordable Import Program. He was speaking in Lilongwe during a press briefing on the progress of the AIP, where he disclosed that so far 28% of the inputs have been accessed by farmers. Government hopes to reach out to all the beneficiaries by the end of the year. Rachel Kunani reports.
According to the Minister of Agriculture, Robin Lowe, an attempt through the initiative to empower local companies is one of the issues affecting timely access of inputs by farmers under the Affordable Import Program, AIP. He further mentioned that some retailers selling the inputs are feigning network challenges when in fact they have problems with connectivity or have run out of stocks. The situation is becoming desperate as beneficiaries worried about the onset of the rains are camping long hours at retail shops in a bid to have the cheaper inputs on time. The Agriculture Minister was, however, quick to say the AIP beneficiaries should not panic as over 60% of inputs are already in selling points across the country.
If projected at 7,877 per day for fertilizer or 420 metric tons for seed, we are likely to go to first week of January. But if ADMAC comes in and if transactions go up to 10,000, then it will be end December. I would like to assure the nation that we are doing everything we can do to make sure that a farmer benefits.
On buying of seeds, the minister says it has come to their attention that farmers are not interested in seed and seeds being offered under AIP. The program is offering rice and sorghum. Lowe therefore announced that seed company Bayer Malawi has stepped in to offer over 1,000 metric tons of the highly demanded hybrid maize seed of DKC 9089, locally known as Fumba. Typhoid Shirwa is territory manager for Bayer Malawi and explains the decision.
Bayer has put 1,200 metric tons of DKC 9089, which will go a long way to save the farmers that have already run out of some seed in some areas on the affordable imports program. As the minister said, our aim is to make sure that farmers continue to use the hybrid seeds and that as a nation we can increase the hybridization rate.
Under the AIP, about 4 million local farmers are expected to buy the inputs at subsidized prices of about 5,000 kwacha per 50 kg bag of fertilizer. Rachel Gonani, MBC, Lilongwe.
You are watching MBC Prime News. A reminder of our top stories. Southern African leaders agree to work together to fight elements of terrorism and insurgents.
The Office of the Ombudsman releases a report that exposes gross mismanagement of COVID-19 resources.
In business news, Reserve Bank of Malawi to release an upgraded 1,000 kwacha banknote into circulation.
In sports, Northern Region teams are ready to battle out in the forthcoming TNM Super League season.
If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex!
Good health starts here.
You are watching MBC News, and welcome back to the Prime News. We go straight to the health segment. An appeal has gone out to women to go for early cervical cancer screening to avoid complications when detected late. The remarks were made by Professor Frank Taulo of Shetinka Maternity Care in Nsanje District. Secret Segula with details.
According to health experts, reports indicate that there are over 4,000 new cases of cervical cancer every year in the country, and at least 3,000 women die of cervical cancer. Although cervical cancer is said to be the easiest to prevent, more women continue to die. The deaths are attributed to lack of access to screening services and late screening. It is for this reason that Chatinka Maternity Care Temanga is here at Ndamere Health Center to offer free screening services to these women. These women travel for more than 20 kilometers to get the service at the district hospital. Hence, today they are thankful for the initiative. This married couple, Emily Anthony and Dausi Mateyu, are here to get the assistance. Dausi Mateyu says he saw it fit to escort his wife to get screened, and he is grateful since the service was close by. Speaking after the exercise, chairperson for Jamaica, Professor Frank Tauro, stressed the need for women to take the screening exercise as a habit, since prevention is better than cure. Tauro further indicated that the rural women are the most affected because of lack of equipment in the rural health centers.
We saw so many women who came, and also some men came as well for family planning services. And out of all the women we have screened here, the numbers are yet to come. We have had one case of cancer, which we are going to manage accordingly in Blantyre. We have taken a specimen which will be processed in Blantyre. We also saw one woman who has got some changes on the surface, which is not cancer, and we treated her right here, and we're going to see her again after 1 year. So you can see the importance of coming out in the rural areas, that the majority of women we see, they're actually normal, reassuring them and following them up, and we only picked up one case of cancer and one case.
Rose Galiza is a senior health nurse at Nsanje District Hospital. She stressed the need to have enough equipment in the health centers for the rural women to have easy access to the screening.
Yeah, one is equipment, as I have already said, like young people's ramp, sometimes in vinegar, the supply is short. It comes in short supply, sometimes in shortage of staff. So the women can go back without being screened.
Out of 31 women that came for screening, 2 had suspected cases, out of which 1 was treated, whilst the other case, a specimen was taken to the lab for further investigations. Secret Segula, MPC News, Nsanje.
In the wake of an increase in new HIV infections, the National AIDS Commission is set to launch a 2020-2025 National HIV and AIDS Strategic Plan NPS. The plan is to ensure reduced infections beyond the globally agreed 75%. Speaking at a review meeting of the 2015-2020 NPS in Lilongwe, Acting CEO for the National AIDS Commission, Dr. Andrew Gonani, said preventive measures outlined in the new strategy will look into ensuring that people are provided with adequate protection to reduce infections. Samantha Mpango has compiled this report, which is read in our studios by Robert Kalindiza.
The new National HIV and AIDS Strategic Plan, NPS, also focuses on meeting UNAIDS 90-90-90 target. According to the 90-90-90 target, by 2030, 90% of people who have known their status access treatment and live a long, healthy life. Although Malawi has managed to achieve the 90-90-90 target, as discussed at a joint NPS review meeting in Lilongwe, there's still room for improvement as there are threats of a rise in new infections. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Charles Mwansambo, said he was saddened by the rise in new HIV infections, especially in young adolescent girls.
We know that there's one group that's prone, and these are adolescents and young women. So we need to also put in measures to protect that group. There are also key populations that we need to take care of because they are usually high numbers in that population. So we need to put strategies to make sure that if we are to contain the epidemic, if we are to stop HIV as a problem, we need to ensure that we put in strategies to slow it down.
National AIDS Commission Acting CEO, Dr. Andrew Gonani, said they are already working on ways to curb the rise of the virus through the 2020-2025 National HIV and AIDS Strategic Plan.
Social marketing of condoms, rolling out voluntary medical male circumcision, and so forth. So this is a package that we are going to offer to the communities. Not everybody will fit into each package. That's why we're saying it's a combination. People will be selecting what will fit them in order to prevent themselves from catching HIV.
The new National HIV and AIDS Strategic Plan NSP for 2020-2025 is already in place and will be launched on 1st December this year.
Youth have been challenged to champion sexual and reproductive health advocacy, as it will help in addressing challenges they face. Minister of Sports and Youth Ulemu Sungama made these remarks in Mulanje. Sungama added, government has committed itself to put in place relevant pieces of legislation, policies and strategies aimed at combating some of the challenges being encountered by them. More in this report.
Sungama told the youth that it's high time they become ambassadors in advocating for rights of their fellow youth in the communities they are coming from. Sungama further reiterated government plans in ensuring that the rights of the youth are protected in the country.
So it is the interest of this government, led by His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, that we have a vibrant youth service. So as we're talking now, we are also still under consultations. We have just started, I must admit, we have just started. But we want, at the end of the day, it should be a very vibrant national youth service that is going to promote young people, that is going to help young people in participating into too many activities and programs. So we are still consulting, like I said, but as we go, people will begin to hear and more what we're doing.
Programs advisor for Jeanette Chakondagaliwo said her organization is championing ending child marriages, hence engaging these youths who have been empowered with skills that will help create more awareness.
5 days training has finally ended today. What are the issues during this training?
During this training, we were training the youth network here in Mulanje. These are young people from different youth organizations and youth clubs, and we were training them on advocacy, on how best they can advocate for issues that affect them. As Girls Empowerment Network, we know that young people have got the skills and the time, and they know better the issues that affect them, especially regarding child marriages and sexual and reproductive health rights. So we have empowered them with skills so that they can go back to their communities and advocate for those issues, engage with duty bearers and other stakeholders to seek for those services to end child marriage.
For her part, Ethel Homa says the training is an eye-opener and that the youth will contribute effectively in different development activities.
In this training, you have learned a lot. We had an advocacy training that we learned a lot of how we can, as the youth, change in different actions, in different activities, like e.g. in our district council, we see that we had a gap.
Over 20 youth took part in the training. Jeanette is also working with 50 traditional leaders and more than 1,000 youths in strengthening civil society to end child marriages. Secret Segula, MBC News, Mulanje.
Now, Islamic Health Association of Malawi has presented mattresses, beds, oxygen concentrators, among other items, worth about 22 million kwacha to Mangochi District Hospital, DHO, to enhance the district's referral hospital's capacity of helping patients. The association's executive secretary, Haj Daitoni, said their aim is to support health facilities in the country to handle patients without challenges.
This donation was given to us, Islamic Health Association of Malawi, by the Association of Business Community, Asian Business Community in Blantyre. These materials were bought to be placed at the COVID-19 center in Blantyre. But due to the low prevalence of COVID in Malawi, they have thought of donating these items to us, Islamic Health Association, and in ourselves who thought it wise to also donate to other facilities like Mangochi District Hospital, Khadija Health Center, as well as Hajira Clinic in Blantyre. There are a number of items. We have beds, mattresses, CPAP machines, oxygen concentrators, and several other materials which were meant for the COVID-19 patients, but they can as well be used in the health facilities for other things.
We'd like to acknowledge the receipt of these gifts. Actually, we are so grateful upon the receipt of these gifts. Actually, we've got so many challenges as we're killing our patients. So once we've saved this, we've seen we have mattresses, the concentrators, and we've seen that we have a lot of patients who come maybe during the rainy season. We see that some patients do die because we have a few concentrators. So this will help us in the managing in the caring of our patients, as well as some patients do sleep on the floor beds. So upon the receipt of those beds, I think they will have conducive environment.
Up next is the Education and Human Interest segment. The African Development Bank Promotion of Investment and Competitiveness in the Tourism Sector, PICTS project, has enhanced operations of Kasungu National Park. The head of the park, Petros Msiska, said, according to him, the project has increased tourism activities in the park. Thomas Piata reports.
According to Msisha, the 7.5 billion kwacha PICS African Development Bank funded project is of twofold. The project has activities aimed at improving operations of the park and improving community livelihoods surrounding it. Inside the park, PICS has funded several activities. Of paramount importance is improvement of road network. Furthermore, PICS procured vehicles which have enhanced the park's capacity to enforce the law through patrols. During patrols, rangers are provided with new uniforms, camping nets and food rations. The park's manager, Petros Msisha, explains the gaps which the project targeted, including fuel.
Before the interventions of ADB within the park here, we had a lot of changes in terms of road network and the transportation problem. That was one of those are the two key challenges that we had. So with the coming in of the project has assisted those areas.
On improving community livelihoods, PICS is targeting 9 traditional authorities surrounding the park. One of the beneficiaries of the project is Lunyangwa Village Conservation and Cultural Lodge, which is managed by the communities. The village lodge, despite facing financial challenges, is promoting culture and conservation of wildlife through traditional engagements. Matthias Kajeba Elisa is responsible for education and outreach at Kasungu National Park and explains how they are working with communities in the project.
Basically, the interventions we are looking at are ecotourism interventions, that is promoting the culture of the people around the park and also promoting conservation of the protected area. So, so far what has happened is that we have conducted a number of awareness meetings within the community.
Kasungu National Park is second largest in the country, covering 2,316 square kilometers of land, and PICS project is being implemented by the Ministry of Tourism with funding from African Development Bank with the aim to improve tourist attractiveness of the places in the project. Thomas Ipiada, MBC, Kasungu.
Parental negligence, cultural practices and beliefs have been described as some of the factors fueling gender-based violence in Mangochi. Country Director for Oxfam, Lingalireni Mibawa, was speaking at Chimwala in the district. She said there is need for parents to engage an extra gear and traditional leaders to take a leading role in protecting women and girls from various forms of gender-based violence.
There are a number of issues, and I hope that at the end of the session we should be able to task TA Chimwala together with our host MP, Honorable Deputy Speaker Aisha Adams, to really come up with an action plan that institutions like us as Oxfam we can support. Because we came here, it's 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. We have witnessed the resurgence of cases of defilement and rape. We want the communities to dig down to finding out what is really causing these issues and what is it that they can do to reverse this bad omen that has befallen Malawi.
And Member of Parliament for Mangochi Nkungulu, Aisha Mambo Adams, said the situation in our area needs concerted efforts in the fight against gender-based violence.
We want to hear from the girls themselves, what is it that is bothering them, making them to go out of school, to have sexual relationships, to be pregnant and to get married at early stage when they are not yet at 18 years of age. After listening to them, we want to hear from the parents themselves, the chiefs. They should tell us what is it that we should do to protect our children.
In a related development, Zimba North District Welfare Office says lack of parental care and guidance is contributing to the increase of rape and defilement cases in the country. Zimba North District Social Welfare Officer Edward Chisanga made the remarks at Livingstonia University in Ekwenden during the district launch for the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Chisomo Manda reports.
During the function, students from Zuzu University, UNLIA and the Malawi Institute of Journalism had the chance to showcase their performances. Aside that, a panel discussion which invited officials from the police, the media and government officials spiced up the event. Speaking after the function, Plan Malawi Area Program Manager for the North, Chakufa Muntali urged girls and women to report any violence to relevant authorities. He said time is now for women and girls to rise up and fight for their rights.
I'm encouraging women and girls out there that the time when they were dying in silence is over. This time around, they are supposed to report all cases of violence that they are experiencing in their homes, maybe in their workplaces and elsewhere. They need to report to relevant authorities so that the perpetrators of such egregious acts are brought to book.
Answering on why rape and defilement cases are increasing, Mzimba North District Social Welfare Officer Edward Chisanga pushed the blame on lack of parental guidance and care.
The guardians, or rather our parents, are unable to give the adequate support to our children. And that is the major reason why we have this increase of gender-based violence. You can even appreciate that some of these gender-based violence are perpetrated by guardians, by parents, who are supposed even to care for the children, but they are the ones even perpetrating the cases of abuses.
According to the Mzimba North District Social Welfare Office, this month alone in Mzimba North, over 40 gender-based violence cases have been reported. Reporting for MBC, this is Somomanda.
The Malawi Red Cross Society, MRCS, has advised people in Karonga to build disaster-resilient shelters to avoid loss of life and property. MRCS coordinator for Karonga District, Blessings Mlowoka, made the call after a 5-day training on participatory approach in safe shelter awareness for local artisans, volunteers, villages, protection civil committees, and chiefs in the district. Ludovico Nyirenda has filed this report.
Year in, year out, some communities in Karonga district face natural disasters such as floods, droughts and storms. According to Malawi Red Cross Society coordinator for Karonga district, Blessings Mlowoka, communities can avoid loss of life and property caused by disasters if they start building houses which are resilient to such disasters.
If you look at the trend of disasters in Karonga, especially the floods and also strong winds, the houses which have been blown off or falling down, most of the houses are not following building standards. As you are aware that the government of Malawi has also the construction standards, building construction standards, and also Malawi has also the PASA approach. So the problem which was there was like people were not following those standards.
In his remarks, Relief and Rehabilitation Officer for Karonga District Council, Shepherd Jere, said the skills gained by participants will help to save lives in the district.
I believe that we will be able, as a Karonga, to reduce, to record a reduction in the number of structures that collapse due to such disasters.
Meanwhile, traditional leaders who participated in the training have pledged to share the information for the benefit of their communities. Ludovico Nyirenda, MBC News, Karonga.
Learners in the country have been advised to work hard at school in order to become productive citizens of the country. Former Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Esther Icheka Chilenje, said this at Pachi Academy, where she was guest of honor during the school's one-year anniversary. The former Deputy Speaker advised the learners, especially girls, to take her as their role model, saying, as a girl and a woman, she has surpassed many challenges to be where she is.
It is really challenging to see that even nowadays, you can see on the social media in our nation that rape has come as the order of the day. It's really challenging for a girl child, but the message I have for the girl child is to say no to early marriages, to say no to the rape, and concentrate to education, because it's only education that can change their life. Without education, there's nothing that a girl child can do. You know, when you educate a girl, you educate the nation. This girl, once educated, is going to be helping the family, the children, and the nation at large. So it is only education that can actually give a successful life and a prosperous future for a mother or a girl.
Well, this school is a very good school, probably here in Malawi, though it has just started, because you can bear with me that you have visited a number of schools, but this is not an ordinary school. This is a high institution, and it has got a very good place that is conducive for learning with a very good environment.
And in business news, the Reserve Bank of Malawi will, on 1st February 2021, release an upgraded 1,000 kwacha banknote into circulation. Reserve Bank Governor Dr. Wilson Banda says since the introduction of the 1,000 kwacha banknote in 2012, there have been a number of developments in the currency industry that have necessitated an upgrade of some of the security features of the banknote to control circulation of counterfeit banknotes. The governor also clarified that the old 1,000 kwacha banknote will remain legal and gradually will be pulled out of circulation and replaced with a new banknote.
The upgraded 1,000 kwacha note is meant to ensure that counterfeiters don't succeed in producing those notes as fake notes, right? We are trying to protect the general public. We don't want the general public to lose value of their goods and services by being paid in counterfeits. By producing an upgraded banknote, we make it extremely difficult for any counterfeiter to produce those notes. The less sophisticated a banknote is, the easier it is to fake. So we're trying to ensure that the fakes in the market are reduced by coming up with these upgraded features, security features.
The Financial Market Dealers Association, FIMDA, has taken steps to identify gaps that are contributing to Malawi's poor performance on the international financial market. At the 2020 FIMDA conference, key players and policymakers in the financial market will brainstorm on how to restore Malawi's potential in raising economy through exports. National Bank of Malawi is among the financial institutions that are supporting the conference. Arthur Chokoto reports.
Balance of payment is a financial term which defines the difference between what Malawians are earning when they export goods and what they spend through importing. Currently, because of increased consuming of imported goods and less exporting, Malawi is suffering on the international money market, and this is described as negative balance of payment. At its 2020 conference, the Financial Market Dealers Association, FIMDA, will focus on how to restore Malawi's lost glory of positive balance of payment. Douglas Nyirenda is treasurer for the Financial Market Dealers Association.
As you might recall, I think the last time that we had it was when we had a vibrant manufacturing industry, and of late we haven't had vibrant manufacturing industry. We are more or less like importing each and every item, which is not healthy for our situation in terms of having the greenback with the central bank and in the market. That's why you've noted that over time the exchange rate has been stable, of course, of rate, but it's on the higher side just because we are always importing things that we can even produce locally. So this time around, we're taking into account financial market dealers to be able to appreciate from decision makers. Like a guest of honor will be the registrar of the financial institution, who is the governor of the Reserve Bank. Then we're having a presentation from Export Development Fund, which was specifically meant to enhance exports. Okay. Then we have got MITC as part of the speakers and then the panelists to discuss on how we can narrow down and eventually have a positive balance of payment.
National Bank of Malawi believes the conference will help enhance the economy by helping to identify gaps in the balance of payment. The bank has donated 1 million kwacha towards the conference.
As a bank, we do appreciate the work that the financial market is doing. And we know that when we are contributing to the conference, the knowledge of our market dealers is going to deepen. And that way, the health of the economy is also going to be enhanced. The gaps that we are seeing in the financial market mostly is maybe on the part of the knowledge which our dealers are having, especially when it comes to helping the government manage their balance of earnings. So we see that this conference is going to enhance that knowledge for them, and they're going to come back well versed with what they are supposed to do.
The Financial Market Dealers Association conference is slated to take place on 28 November 2020 under the theme Unleashing Malawi's Potential Amidst Rising Negative Balance of Payments. Afro Chokoto, MBC, Blantyre.
One of the country's financial institutions, Standard Bank, says the introduction of the tap-to-pay facility will help customers to conduct small value transactions when buying goods from shops. Head of Relationship Banking, Graham Chipande, made the sentiments when Standard Bank successfully tested the new technology at game stores in Lilongwe. According to Chipande, the new technology involves the use of a card without using a PIN.
Today we're very excited to bring you the advent of Tap to Pay, and it's the launch of our new contactless card. It's one of our new ways of bringing fast and efficient ways of banking, but also a way of transforming lives in the way that we do business. So as you're aware, this year also because of things like the pandemic, we've reduced the amount of contact, but also the amount of time that we want to spend in the shops. So the advent of our new contactless card, it's supposed to help you for small value transactions to just simply tap your card and pay without the need to enter the PIN or interact with a point-of-sale device. It reduces the queuing times. It's also beneficial for retailers during this busy time because it allows them to process much transactions in terms of the number of customers that they can serve, but also for our customers, when you've got small value transactions and you want to get in and out of the shop very quickly, you just simply tap to pay.
And in entertainment news, young brother to late Gift Fumulani, Moda Fumulani, is set to launch his latest album titled Respect to Gift Fumulani this Friday at Pazinziri in Blantyre. This is Moda's second album after his debut album, Loto La Farao, which was released some 10 years ago. Details in this report.
Moda Fumulani has decided to break the silence after releasing the first album called Loto La Farao in 2009, which was left uncompleted by his late brother, Gift Fumulani. In an interview with MBC, Black Missionaries band manager Ras Ray Halawa said Moda has taken this long because he wanted to make sure that he gives out the best.
The album launch, I should say the launch is starting on Friday at Zinzili along Chileka Road in Blantyre. And then it will be on Friday, as I say. After that launch in Blantyre, we'll go to Lilongwe, whereby you will be launching at M1 Center Point. They should expect fireworks, that's what I can say. Because Moda had taken his time producing this album. I mean, writing it and then producing it. And so I can assure the people that Gift is not dead yet. Gift is in Moda Fumulani. His spirit is in Moda Fumulani.
The 10-track album is titled Respect Gift Fumlani as a narrative of late Gift Fumlani life journey and spiritual welfare. Some of the big artists that will support the launch, apart from the Black Missionaries Band, are Anthony Makondetsa, Lulu, Atoti Manje, Kozi Masimbe, Yanjirani Chumbu, and Sante. Halawa also announced that the Black Missionaries Band annual memorial show that honors the legacy of fallen reggae icons and founder of the band, late Evson Matafali, is on this coming Sunday in Singano village in Chileka.
We are set for the memorial concert, which is one of the biggest concerts here in Malawi. If not, I can say that, I can proudly say that it is the biggest concert here in Malawi. And it will be on the 29th, that is this coming Sunday, and it will be soon after the launching of Moda's album, that is on Friday and Saturday. And so, as I say, we are set, and several other artists are also set. We'll be having a few well-known artists at the show, at the concert, and other smaller artists or upcoming artists will also be there.
The annual memorial show is free and is held on an open ground, and in recent years the shows have been disrupted by heavy rains. The late Evson Matafali was born on 20 November in 1969 and died on 27 November in 2001 at the age of 32 in the hands of the police. We now move on to sports. Northern region teams in the TNM Super League say they are fully prepared for the 2020-2021 football season kickoff after the long COVID-19 break. A visit to their training grounds, the 5 teams representing the region all say preparations for the league to start are going on according to plan. Our reporter, Rodolfo Nginenda, has more in this report.
2020-2021 TNM Super League is kicking off this weekend after a long COVID-19 break with a number of games on the lineup. According to Moyare Barracks assistant coach Richard Mwansa, the Lions of Kanina are fully prepared to bring good results this season, as the team has had a number of testing matches.
We have prepared for 2020-21 season. We are ready for this season.
And that's how we conclude this edition of Prime News. A reminder of our top stories. Southern African leaders agree to work together to fight elements of terrorism and insurgents.
The Office of the Ombudsman releases a report that exposes gross mismanagement of COVID-19 resources.
In business news, Reserve Bank of Malawi to release an upgraded 1,000 kwacha banknote into circulation.
In sports, Northern region teams are ready to battle out in the forthcoming TNM Super League season.
Well, that's how we conclude this edition of Prime News here at MBC. From me, Jane Gogdas, and my colleague,
Simeon Boyce, and of course our sign language interpreter was Tauson Kamata. It's thanks for watching.
Good evening. Moist air, which is now getting into the country, caused rains and some blowing during the last 24 hours. Parura had up to 32 millimeters, also raining over Mimosa, then the Hill School in Blantyre, Mangochi, Mbewe EPA in the Lower Shire. Some places which had rains Stego in Mulanje up to 11 millimeters, 9 over Walker's Ferry. Mwanza Agriculture had 7.6 over Zomba National Statistical Office and Garcia Agriculture. Rains were less over some places like Bilila Agriculture, Kasintula in Chikwawa, and Malomo in Chise, among other places. We are now getting moist air from the Indian Ocean into the country, and this will maintain moisture content over the country, and this will lead to rains over some places. Tonight, thunder activities are being experienced over the northern central and over the south. During early morning tomorrow, we expect temperatures to drop a little over northern high grounds like Mzuzu and Chena, but it will be warm over most parts. Cloudy conditions will be there in the morning hours with 1 or 2 showers over the northern areas, but thunder activity over the central and southern parts. Later in the day, temperatures will pick up to 32 degrees Celsius over Blunt and some high grounds in the south. It will be very hot along the lakeshore and the Shire Valley. Thunderstorms and rain showers will continue in the afternoon hours, which could be heavy in the parts. Therefore, we should be on the lookout. These conditions may continue over some parts even as we get into Sunday. Temperature will still be rising over the Shire Valley, where Nchalo could go up to 39 degrees Celsius in partly cloudy conditions. Some showers will be felt over Ncheu and Chitipa, but partly cloudy conditions over Doa. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Lake Malawi Anglican University, Lamau, fully registered and accredited by Government of Malawi through the National Council for Higher Education, is inviting applicants for the semester to start on the 3rd August 2020 in the following programs:
Bachelor of Divinity, Bachelor of Arts in Theology, Bachelor of Commerce in Business Administration, Bachelor of Commerce in Finance, Bachelor of Commerce Accountancy, Bachelor of Commerce in Marketing. We have regular classes, weekend classes, and block release. Fees can be paid in installments of 40% first and then 3 installments of 20% each.
Lamau has got boarding facilities, a sick bay, outsourced cafeteria services at a reasonable fee, and many more.
For normal entries, applicants are required to have MSCE or GCSCE certificate with 6 credits. For more information, visit Lake Malawi Anglican University campuses located in the Lilongwe near Crossroads Hotel along Mchinji Road, opposite Petroda Filling Station and Siku Transport.
Or call on 0993 863 091, 0999 587 115, 0995 405 404, or 0999 465 404. Closing date for receiving applications is 27 July 2020. Lake Malawi Anglican University, Lamau, is fully registered and accredited by the Government of Malawi through the National Council for Higher Education. Lamau, a faith-based institution for positive change.
Bwanji uoneka ninkawa
sindufuna kuti wina aliyense atione kuno
nchifekera bwera lukulali ndi kwathu zikhabuto bwino
ndakulandirani mwabwera kudzalandira uphungu wa zakulera zateka apano ndikhoza kumaliza maphunziro anga opanda kutenga mimba
ndipo ine ndini nthawi yoyamba bizinesi muno bwino tisanakhale mwana
umaganiza motsogola atu nthawi zonse Stella ukutani kuno Anti, ndi mama ndi ndani? Ndi nzanga. Oh. Ndakondwa kuti we ndi nzako.